deck for blue-white human deck you may have seen in the last video. First, starting off with 1-drop creatures, Boris Elite. His Battalion, it's a 1/1 for 1 that buffs it +2/2. Battalion, if you don't know, is whenever at least when Boris Elite and at least 2 other creatures attack, it gets a effect. So this one's +2/2. Some will be different. One of them, everyone was looking for the lightning helix out of Gatecrash set, and they stuck it on a creature, which didn't really fire main defenders. Didn't make people much happy, but it was a great limited card. Champion of the Parish, the best 1-drop human, the best human in general. I don't know about the best human in late game, but in the early game he's awesome. Daring Skyjack is the first of the 2-drops. And before I get to him, we'll get the other 2 1-drops, which I don't know why cockatrice placed them down here, but it's Windcrafter, which has Soul Bond, which is, if you don't know, when it enters the battlefield, it can pair with an unpaired creature. As long as they're both paired, they have flying, so it will give your giant champions flying, or double strike paladins flying, which is nice. Daring Skyjack also can get flying with Battalion, so same as effect as Boris Elite, except its trigger is getting flying, which is really nice, but otherwise it's just a 2-drop 3/1 body, which isn't bad. It dies to a few burn spells here and there, but yeah, it's not bad. For Deputy Liquidals can save as much of my creatures this is the same slot, but a lot of other decks will be running the Geist of St. Traps in that slot, where we have them in their sideboard. Deputy Liquidals is a really awesome card. You can play it post-Wrath. After your opponent's dropped a Wrath, you can hold it in your hand and play it, and start laying some more beats down. You can save a creature, you can flash it and pump your Champion of the Parish and bash for 4. Very versatile card. Moving into the 3-drops, we have Frontline Medic, which also has Battalion, and whenever Frontline Medic and these 2 other creatures get indestructible, which is really nice, because when you're in a creature-to-creature fight, and all you do is you're indestructible, and they have to block, stay alive, you usually can just finish them off the next turn, because you still got all your dudes. His second effect is sort of mediocre. Everyone was going crazy about it. Oh, you can counter Sphinx's Revelation if they pay 3, but people just played around that. It wasn't that big of a deal. But it is there if it's necessary. You can counter Syncopate, you can counter any X spell. So, something that is on the field that your control opponents have to play around. A lot of other decks are running Thalias. We put some thought to it, but I didn't really see any use for it. I thought about sticking them in the sideboard, but we'll find out once we do some play testing with it, see which one's a lot better. Obviously, Thalia is better than against control. I mean, there's a lot of things. We got mostly creatures, but I just felt Deputy was a little bit better than Thalia. The next 3-drop is Lay Sky Knight, which is a 3-drop like Daring Skyjack, actually very much like Daring Skyjack. It costs basically 1 blue more, plus an extra blue to play it, but it already has flying, so you don't need Battalion to trigger flying. 3/1 body as well. But it also has the Detain effect, which is a very underrated effect from Return to Ravnica that Azorius had that was awesome and limited, and is still pretty good because it's detaining target non-mana permanent. It is pretty good. You can shut down Planeswalkers, or I guess it's irrelevant against Omnidor decks too, but yeah. Next 3-drop, Mentor of the Meek. Awesome. Triggers with a bunch of your creatures. Is basically the draw engine. You just play, draw 2 cards each turn, but drop 1-drops. So, get rid of little mini Sphinx's Revelations here. Give out the life gain. Our next 3-drop, Silverblade Paladin. Another awesome human with Soul Bond effect, except this time when they're paired, those creatures get double strike, which is sweet. Super sweet. Moving into the 4-drops, we have Odric. Fairly good, awesome human legendary creature. He's got first strike, which is really good in combats. We also get to figure out where they block. So if every creature's indestructible, you can make them block to where their whole team dies, or if they're going to kill them that turn on swings, you can just kill them. Other 4-drop Rider's Gabney, really good against creature-heavy decks because it will go ahead and shut down blocks for them, and this guy's got vigilance, so they'll be able to block their team, especially against like zombie decks and stuff where humans generally don't have a lot of playability around it, removing zombies, and they can sack them, and they block really well against humans. Well, Rider's Gabney is a big answer to that. An answer to a lot of other decks that have stable, not very versatile variety of creature types. The other deck, Humans, this is really good against. They don't run it, we run it. Most blue-white lists are going to run this, and this will use the humans, and you can shut down them. Moving to the sorceries, there's 3 Gather Townsfolk, really awesome. A lot of decks running different cards here. This is probably where the Folly is going to be, but the slots with Precinct Cabins is tough in their deck. Thought this was really awesome because you get 2 1/1s, so you get to trigger your champion twice, which is good. Although 2 1/1s is arguably not quite as good as, say, a 2/1 that makes your opponents have to play 1 more for each of their spells. So it goes both ways. But I like Gather Townsfolk, so did my other friends like Gather Townsfolk. Moving to lands, obviously Cavern, because everything is human. Help us with our mana base mostly. I guess you can worry about getting countered, but not super worried. But it can be relevant there. Mainly relevant just to add 1 mana of any color to fix the blue for most of these creatures. In the blue, 4 Glacial Fortress, 4 Held Fountain. Those are the only blue sources besides the 1 island because of the sideboard. I don't really like sideboarding islands in this, so 1 island is fine. We got 8 planes. Not much else. Now moving to the sideboard, we have 3 Geist. This thing, Geist, is awesome. He's got Hexproof, which is super relevant in the metagames right now. There's a lot of sack and non-targety stuff, but he's still good because he puts a clock on your opponent. Your opponent's going to have to deal with him and use resources to deal with him, so they're going to waste cards. They maybe deal with this guy. Detention Sphere gets rid of token decks. You can just wipe the board. But it's awesome. Also thought about Supreme Verdict Seer because you can swing in, give all your guys indestructible in the board wipe main phase 2, and you keep all your guys, your opponents all die. 1 Rest in Peace for Reanimator control, since it's not going to hurt us at all. We got 2 Essence Scatter, which turns out to be quite relevant against control decks. Because you can counter, when you got a bunch of dudes swinging in, they're going to try to kill one of your guys with a Snapcaster, like a Zorius Terminal, and you just counter the Snapcaster. And they don't get either effect, and then you get a bash them down to a low life where they can't recover. We have 2 Negates, obviously against control. 2 Rope Run Defenses, which is Populates, which isn't really that relevant, right, in this deck. I mean, you can populate a 1/1 human, okay. But the mainly relevant is indestructible against opposing board wipes. And Urgent Exorcism, which I found out was really awesome against, as a removal spell for a card that we might have a lot of problem with. This is Obstat Ghost Council. Your spirit, destroy the spirit. Destroys a lot of other stuff. It's also an enchantment removal spell. So, it works both ways. This is the main thing of the deck, and you should be able to see some other gameplay videos